Hey inky friends, how's it going? I hope everybody's having a good day. It is very bright outside my window. I can promise you though, it's really cloudy. The brightness is coming from the snow on the ground. There's still quite a bit of snow here in Minnesota. So I figured maybe we could swatch some Moody Gray inks. I love the color gray. I love wearing it. I love writing with it. I love painting with it. Gray has so many complex different colors inside of it that I'm hoping that we could pull out and see how we're feeling when we're looking at it and just taking deep breaths, relaxing. So come along with me as we swatch some Moody Gray inks and let's get started. Hey inky friends, welcome to my channel, The Fountain Pen Ink Station. My name is Bailey. I'm so glad you're all here and just hope everybody's having a good day. I'm going to be swatching Moody Gray inks. Gray is one of my favorite color and my favorite fountain pen ink. I'm gonna maybe do 2 parts from my samples. You guys can see the samples here. So before we get started, I'm gonna just go over what gray means. So before we begin, I want you guys to take a deep breath. What does the color gray evoke for you? To me, it symbolizes neutrality, practicality, and compromising. The effects of gray is stabilizing, relaxing, calming, and soothing. There's some positive attributes to gray, including reliability, maturity, intellectuality, and conservativeness. Some of the negative attributes, which I don't think is what I think, sadness, indecisive, and unemotional. To me, gray means emotional, moodiness, sadness. To me, that's not negative. I love the color gray. It brings out a lot of emotion, but also brings out a lot of positivity and reminds myself to ground myself. Gray often describes my mood. It makes me feel really calm and really relaxed. So without further ado, let's get to swatching. I'm going to try to keep these in order by brand. The first one being a Colorverse South Dakota Gold Rush. And there is a shimmer, and I like to agitate my shimmers a little bit. I'll be using my Speedball B0 nib and my Pilot dip pen. I also have a water cup off to my right. And I'm trying a new method of putting a grid line down. We'll see how that goes. If I end up speeding this video up, I might add music. Colorverse Gold Rush. Jeez. And as I'm swatching, I'd like everyone to just kind of think about what these colors are evoking for them and what they feel when they see the colors. I'm curious, what is your favorite colors to swatch? What is your favorite colors to write with? Do you have a favorite color to wear? The next ink is Diamine Sparkling Shadows. And when I'm done, I will do a closer up video. Some of these are a lot different as you watch them dry, so. And this one is from the Shimmertastic line. Oh, and I forgot to do a writing sample up above, so I'll go back and do that. Okay, the next one is Diamine Shimmertastic Moon Dust. And this one doesn't have a lot of shimmer in it. I will still agitate it anyway. Okay, so the next one is going to be from the ink event of 2022, Diamine Ghost. And this does not have shimmer. I believe it was one of their shading inks. I don't have a lot left in here, so we'll see how much I can pull. Has anybody tried this Ghost ink? I haven't tried a lot from 2022's ink event calendar. Okay, let me move up a little bit. And I have a little writing board here in the back. To me, it's just easier when you're writing on that left side of the page. I often struggle with the crinkliness and how much it moves and shifts. The next one is Dominant Industry Downpour. This is a newer to me ink. I have not put it into a pen yet. Has anybody else put it into a pen? And if so, what was your thoughts on it, if so? I kind of want to ink it up for April with how much rain we get. Right now, there's still a lot of snow on the ground here in Minnesota. At least in the northern part of Minnesota where I am. I gotta put that down. Okay, let me fix my... Let me see if I can zoom everybody in. All right, the next one is also a Dominant Industry ink. It is a collaboration with Wonder Pens up in Canada. It's called Tuna Gray. They did a few inks based on, I want to say, their shop cats. My water over here is turning really nice, dusky, like a really cloudy gray. Okay, friends, I'm going to scoot you over and move you down a little bit. Actually, zoom out to move my clip. Maybe I can move it on this side. I do have blotter paper, which I probably should use to keep my hand oils off the page. Okay, the next ink we're going to do is a Ferris wheel press ink. It's called Lettercast Letters. This feels like a very dry ink. I have tried this one in a Kaweco broad nib, and it worked pretty good. The next ink is Ink Institute, and I'm not really good at saying this one. Shunandong Smelter. It's one of their chroma shading inks. Ink Institute is known for doing a lot of chroma shading inks. I love their inks. I also love putting them in wider nibs because they can be kind of light. I have one that's called Cat at Noon, and I have to put it in a double broad, just for how light that is to use. See if you see here with my Pilot Medium dip nib, it's pretty light. I have an idea of a video. I'd like to do some of these chroma shading inks and do like a time lapse of them drying. I think that'd be really fun to watch. Am I the only one who thinks that would be fun? Next one is J. Herbon Stormy Gray, and this is a shimmer, so I'm going to agitate it a little bit. The only thing I don't like about samples of shimmer inks is you can't control how much shimmer you're getting in the sample, so it might not be representative of what the ink actually is like. So keep that in mind if you're doing a sample of a shimmer ink. Oh, got a little bit too much on my nib there. This is a really nice lubricated ink. After having a couple dry inks in a row, I kind of got surprised by the wetness of that one. Okay, the next one I think we're gonna do is Kaweco Smoky Gray. I almost forgot where I put my dip pen, or my speedball nib. So I'm gonna reach over and grab this. I think this is the only Kobe ink I have. It's Kobe City Museum Gray. And this one leads more of a brown gray. Oh, I don't think I got enough on there. I know the ink says it's gray, but to me, I think you could put it as a brown. I forgot how brown it is until I swatch it. Yeah, I don't know if it's picking up how gray it is, but it's pretty gray. Okay, the next one we're gonna do is and I apologize in advance, it's this discontinued ink. It's Mont Blanc Oyster Gray. I wanted to include it because it is very moody and has a lot of shading on it. What I love about fountain pen inks and grays and other colors in particular is how many different shades can come from one color. So even though we have gray, you could see a wide variety of colors in each of these. And for the most part, none look the same. Okay, we're gonna let these dry, and then I'm gonna go to the next page to finish swatching the rest of the inks. I'll be back here shortly. Hey inky friends, welcome back. All right, let's get going to the next round of ink samples. After this is done swatching, I'll show you the rest of them. All right, so the next one on our next one is Octopus Write and Draw Gray Frog. Hopefully, okay. Let's zoom. Okay, I hope everybody can see okay. And this one is Write and Draw, so that means that it's a waterproof ink. When you're using a waterproof ink, you want to make sure that you clean your pen really good. Don't leave it in there too long, otherwise it will... Oops, I almost wrote the wrong name down. It could clog your pen. Alright, move it back up. I have to write at an angle when I'm doing this left page. Okay, the next ink is Papier Plume. Let's see if we can get this to focus. Oyster Gray. I'm still not sure which swatching method I prefer. If I prefer the little cloud or if I prefer this longer swatch. I'm finding with these bigger swatches, they don't work as well on the Hobonichi paper. So I'll do it this time and then maybe next time I'll have to switch it up again. Papier Plume. Oyster Gray. Again, why I don't like writing on this left side. dip. Okay, the next ink is also a papier plume. This one is a limited edition ink from Inky Converters called Trash Panda Gray. I can link her Etsy channel below. I had asked her at the pen show last year if she was going to try to restock this ink, and I know that they were going to try. I have not seen a restock yet, so hopefully they're able to get it restocked. This might be one of those inks where I do like a comparison video. If you can't find this ink, here's some alternative inks. I know there's quite a few limited edition inks that people had missed out on, and myself included. And I really like doing those kind of comparisons. So if you know of an ink that you'd like to see a comparison of, I'd be curious. Just let me know in the comments below or message me. I don't know why I mix between cursive and print. Converters. I won't be able to do a little writing sample, but that's okay. I'll put a smile face. Okay, the next one is Scribo. Come on. Sometimes this likes to autofocus, sometimes it doesn't. It's Scribo and then Grigio Scribo, which I think Grigio means gray. I really like this ink. I combined 2 sample bottles, so it's really full. And the only reason why I haven't pulled the plug on buying it is Scribo ink is very expensive. I know you can get it at Vanessa. And then I want to say Apple Boom overseas also has Scribo. Don't quote me on that though. Oh, I have to be really careful with this. Alright, now let's hope. Oh, you are not in focus. I am so sorry about that. Okay, that one is the Grigio Scribo. Okay, the next one is Van Diemen's Stone. And this one is part of the Professional series. Online it says it has some waterproof qualities to it. I haven't tried this out yet. That'd be a video that I kind of want to do, is a waterproof test. This is one of those inks that I think is really close to pencil lead. So if you like writing with pencil, this would be a good close color. Okay, I have 3 inks left, so I'm going to move this up and out of the way. And then I'm going to, I think, move this down. The next one we're going to do is Vinta Armada. And this one is gray, but it also has some really cool chroma shading features to it. So when it dries, it comes out with a bunch of different colors. Wipe my nib off. I did not want to do it that messy. That one's Vinta Armada, and you can already see some of the shading aspects on it. Alright, next is Waringle Tin Woodman. I have some more gray Waringle inks, but I have full bottles of that, so I'll put that on a separate video. This feels like a drier ink. Okay, and then the last gray sample we have, Inky Friends, is 3 Oysters Dole Dam. And I'm doing this one last because it's, depending on which paper you put it on, it's either going to be brown, it's going to be gray, it's going to kind of do its own little moody thing depending on how it's feeling and which paper you're using. I am using the Tomoe River Sanzen Hobonichi notebook, and on this paper it usually shows up more of a brownish gray. I like using this one at a broad nib. It's a little bit of a drier ink, at least in my experience it is. That is all of the gray samples. I'm going to let these dry, and then we're going to come back and take a look at them all dried up. Alright, inky friends, we're back. Alright, let's take a closer look at these moody gray inks, and I'm curious what everybody thinks. Okay, so let me open up my shade just a little bit more. Okay, so we have Colorverse Gold Rush. This one's coming around more like a brown gray. Diamine Sparkling Shadows from their Shimmertastic line. And then Diamine Moondust, also from the Shimmertastic line. There's Diamine Ghost from the Inkvent 2022. That's got some really nice shading. I would like to see that one next to Lady Grey or Earl Grey. So when I swatch that, maybe I should put those two together. And then Dominant Industry Downpour. These are very similar in the swatch. The writing, this one's darker. And then we have Dominant Industry with Wonder Pens, Tuna and Olives. That is a very dark gray. Okay, and then Ferris Wheel Press Lead Cast Letters. That is also more of a brown leaning gray. And remember what I said about Institute Shenandoah Smelter? It goes down gray, but then once it dries, there's so many different colors that show up. So there's pink and there's blue. And then you can see a little bit of the gray in the back of it. And then J. Herbon Stormy Gray, that is a very dark gray. There is a little bit of shimmer and maybe even sheen. I don't think the camera's going to pick it up though. And then we have Kaveco Smoky Gray. It's a pretty standard gray, but it's what am I trying to say? It's very reliable and nicely lubricated. Kobe City Museum Gray is definitely more of a brown gray. And then Mont Blanc Oyster Gray. Again, this one's discontinued. Maybe I should put discontinued on here. So if you really like this gray, I would look on eBay maybe. Okay, and then I left the page blank. And then we have Octopus, Write and Draw, Gray Frog. This one is a permanent ink. Papia Plume, Oyster Gray. That's a blue gray. And then Papia Plume with Inky Converters, Trash Panda Gray. This is one of my favorite grays. There's another gray that I like too. That's from Robert Osterdahl. Swatch on the next part. I can't tell if the camera is picking up, but there is some hints of like pink and purple behind this gray. And sometimes even in like a bigger nib, you can see that come out in the writing. And then we have Scribo Grigio Scribo. This one is definitely a blue gray, but it is really nice to write with. Van Even Stone has some really fun shading. And I love how this dried so weird because of how the paper was crinkly. So that's fun how that actually dried. And then we have Vinta Armada, another one that shades a bunch of different colors. Wearing Gold, Tin Woodman, and then we have three oysters at Doldam, which dried a very brown gray, and you can even see a little bit of yellow in it. So of these colors, of these moody grays, which one is your favorite? Which one is the most moody to you? Which one evokes feeling of either sadness or, on the opposite spectrum, calmness and relaxation? I'd be curious to know what you think. I will work on part 2 and get that out later in the week. But for right now, I hope everyone has a good day or night where you're at, depending on what time you watch this. I hope that you are doing well. Remember that you matter. And I will catch you on the next one. Bye, friends.